On this week's episode of The Fizz, me and Channy football break down Week 11, Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears. We did the tailgate today. It was a beautiful day, sloppy game, but we got that W, and we talk about it. We break it down. We have a couple other things for you, and then we close with an over-under. But before we get into all of that, I do have to tell you guys about our amazing sponsor, which is Vosa. Vosa, the ready-to-drink vodka beverage, which comes in two kinds. They have their vodka water and then their Highline. The vodka water, 5% alcohol by volume, no carbonation, light flavor, very refreshing. That Highline, a little more alcohol by volume, 7%. It's got some natural flavoring to it, a little bit of carbonation, a little bit of sweetener. Vosa is a Michigan-made product who is now partnered with owner Kate Upton. So if you guys haven't tried this out yet, go give it a shot. If you order off their website, you can use 25% off with a promo code LAUNCH. That's 25% off with the promo code LAUNCH, and that's at vosaspirits.com. Go check them out. Michigan product supporting the little guy, this podcast. Would love for you guys to go buy a case for this holiday season. Vosa, enjoy the finer things. But now, let's get into the Fizz. Hello and welcome to episode 128 of The Fizz. I am here with the main man, Channy Football, producer Mike behind the set. Pizzo had to dip, but that doesn't matter. Everything right now is high energy. We're live from HQ. Just about, 20 minutes removed from one of the most electric Lions victories of the season?
It's got to be the most electric victory of the season. Maybe outside the first week, but
yeah,
what a damn victory. Doesn't matter that they didn't play for 50 minutes. They came to play for the last 10.
Game was trash. Last week was pure electricity. You felt really good about how the offense was humming. This game was trash. The Bears are trash. We shouldn't be happy at all with how they played, but this happens in the NFL, and good teams find a way to win, and holy shit, coming back and winning that game is going to be huge as we march forward.
Dan Campbell said it last week after the win against the Chargers. He said, don't apologize for winning in the NFL. You can't apologize. A win's a win. A win is a win, no matter how you win the game, no matter how ugly it looks, no matter how pretty you lose a game. You get a W in the win column, that's another win. 8-2 for the first time in 61 years.
Holy shit.
61 years since the Lions have been 8-2. That is something my dad can't even remember seeing.
Yeah, my dad was maybe like 10 years old, something like that. But you don't remember it.
No.
You don't remember it.
I mean, let's start it off right, Frank.
Yeah, let's
We've
do
been
it.
waiting for a little while.
We earned this one today. We had to sweat that one out pretty good. Yeah, what did Campbell say last week? They're too hard to come by, men.
That's
They're
right.
too hard to come by.
Too hard to come by.
Cheers. One Pride Nation.
Let's go.
This one's for you.
Tastes that much sweeter.
Man.
After a victory.
That puts me back on the playground, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that is so good.
Sugar rush.
8-2, beating the Bears. Always good to beat Chicago, no matter the sport, no matter the situation. Bears fans got to be just down bad. That one had to just sting. There was no doubt in my mind we were losing that game. I didn't think there was any chance we were coming back. We could not stop them to save our lives. And then the time that we need to stop them, we come up with 2 run stops in a row, and then Bears being Bears take a deep shot downfield. Fields overthrows them. We get the ball back. We go down. We score. We end the game.
Yep. Bears were the Bears on that one. You know, kind of like you mentioned, though, we couldn't stop them at the start. And let's just go into the game real quick.
Let's jump right in.
We're happy about the win. What we need to do, though, is obviously talk a little bit more about the game and analyze it. The first thing, time of possession. Bears basically doubled us up. For most of the game, they were getting into third down and converting third downs, or we were committing a lot of penalties on third down. Very sloppy game from that front in the sense that we just couldn't get off the field, and it wasn't like the Bears were making plays. Mm-mm. It was that we were shooting ourselves in the foot by either not stopping them and or committing penalties, which I think in the fourth, there was a Branch penalty and then a Sutton penalty on back-to-back third downs, which killed us. So I thought that was something that we definitely have to clean up going forward. Lack of time of possession. That's usually our game.
Yeah.
We're usually grounding and pounding and controlling the ball.
Yeah, it felt like Chicago's script. They ran the script.
Yep.
They ran the script. They just were when it was time to win the game, they couldn't close, and we could. Goff, worst game of the season,
Yep.
I think. I mean, if we throw the Ravens game just in the trash, this was definitely the worst game I thought we played all year. I even thought we played better during the Seahawks game. This was just a really bad game. That was like Goff looked like he was seeing ghosts out there. It didn't look good. Even on that final drive, I mean, he threaded that needle to Amon-Ra. I mean, that thing could have easily been picked off and gone the other way.
100%.
The goal line fade to Amon-Ra could have been picked off, and that should have went 99 yards the other way. I mean, this was not a good win until the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. They finally woke up and started playing.
Exactly. It wasn't great on any front. Defense, offense, nothing seemed to be in sync. The biggest thing, and me and you were talking about it during the game, was the lack of pressure. And that's something that I'm sure a lot of people are going to talk about this week and beyond, because we didn't make the move at the trade deadline. We didn't add that edge rusher or that D tackle, and it seems like we were only bringing 4, maybe 5 guys most of the game today. That's a huge concern for me because, to me, we're going to see Hurts at some point. If we make it far enough in the playoffs, we're going to have to go through Philadelphia. And the way that Justin Fields was buying time, using his legs to convert on third downs, that's something that we really have to tighten up. And hopefully, with the re-addition of James Houston, that'll tie it up a little bit, although we need more schematic changes than just adding James Houston back into the lineup.
Yeah, and I want to celebrate this one, but like you said during the game, I mean, kind of 3 not great games in a row, at least for the defense. Obviously the Chargers game gave up 38 points, needed every single one of them there. Which one am I blanking on? Because obviously we just played the Bears.
The Raiders.
Raiders,
as well.
yeah, not great, not great. But 8-2 is 8-2. Winning division game at home. Let's talk about kind of our day.
Yeah.
Leading into that game. So, as you guys know, we were out on the street every home game, getting the tailgate video. So, today we went to actually a different location. We've done Eastern Market. We've been around Comerica. We've done Greektown. So, we went behind Fox today, like the Fox Theater and that whole area. And it was bumping. It was absolutely bumping back there. A lot of people tailgate back there. I don't think I ever have. And I got to say, today was like the most fun tailgate video I think we did.
I mean, we ran into a Reverend, Macho Man Randy Savage, the Muncher. Number 69.
Yes.
The Muncher.
Yeah, he's just which is just Cookie Monster, but he goes by the Muncher number 69.
And then, of course,
Motorhead, yep.
Walking around with a full engine on his head.
And the Bible Thumpers and the Jesus Freaks were actually aggressive towards us today.
Yes.
Which was interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, they called
Spineless
us
snakes, maybe?
They called us snakes and sloths.
Yes.
Yes, they called us all of those things, and they said we're just like dogs. They called us dogs? Dogs. They called us dogs too. So I mean, I don't hate the last chirp.
No,
because we are some dogs.
I think we have to repent. They said.
Yeah. Well, whatever. We repented with having to suffer through that game all the way to the end. And then, if anybody saw our live video of when we went nuts for the touchdown, obviously very happy the Lions won the game, the touchdown, all of that. But the Fizz crew had a hefty wager, a collective hefty wager, on Monty anytime touchdown Lions money line. So we got all of that jam-packed into the final minute, subbed out Gibbs, put Monty in. That was a special dub. I mean, that's a whole mood changer. Lions lose that game. We're doing a 10-minute podcast, sad, moping, crying. At least I am. Yeah. But now that they won, we're chatty, we're happy, we're drinking fucking Kool-Aids, talking about the tailgate. What a day.
And it's 8-2, and we go into a short week against Green Bay next week. I will say this, though, and we talked about it during the game, taking deep shots. They opened it up late in the game, getting Jamison Williams some shots, getting Laporta some shots. That's something that I believe they had to do. How many times did we say throw it more than 5 or 10 yards?
Yeah.
It felt like this was a game of checkdowns where we were hitting Laporta Amon-Ra, Gibbs all underneath, and we finally opened it up here in the last 10 minutes, hitting J-Mo over the top. He only had 3 targets today. It's time. Unleash the Kraken. Get him more involved in the offense. He's proven. He's blocking. He's hustling. He's consistently at practice. He's getting to know the playbook.
That last one was kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. But, between injury and suspension, he wasn't practicing at all.
Yeah, I hear you.
So we put his snacks to rest, which gave him an extra boost.
That's right.
But all in all, you need to get him more involved because he's that guy that blows the top off, and you saw that in the last 2 drives. His threat of going deep opened up the run game and the underneath passing and gave you lanes and pockets that we weren't seeing for more than the duration of the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, and I love the touchdown. I mean, I think, if J-Mo's able to have a long career with us, we're going to see hundreds of touchdowns like that where he's just kind of got everyone beat, the ball's thrown a little behind him, and he's catching it with his chest. I feel like he catches a lot of things with his chest, but I get excited when I see him make the routine grabs, like over the middle. Like he got hit with a slant today that was a little bit tight, a little bit in close. He secured it, got down. That's a good pickup. I like to see those almost more than the deep ball. Obviously, everyone loves the deep ball, but that is kind of the joke, is that he's just a 4 verts guy, and that's the only thing he can be good for. He'll be really dangerous if he can get the ball in over the middle in space, make a couple of moves, and really use that speed with the ball as opposed to without it.
Amen. And, I felt like we didn't see much of Reynolds today. We didn't see much.
He had a couple nice grabs, though. Like, I felt like when he was called upon, he's very sure-handed, but I totally agree. I felt like receivers, even though
Raymond.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Very little Raymond, very little Reynolds today. It was really Amon-Ra, a lot of Gibbs, and then at the end you saw more Laporta, J-Mo. Again, though, my overall concern was the time of possession today, and just looking into it, 46 rush attempts for the Bears, 22 for us.
Yeah.
It's usually flopped the other way when we're playing an opponent.
Yeah, and we just didn't have the ball. I mean, we didn't have the ball, so we literally just didn't have the time to have those attempts. And when we had the ball, we had to throw. It was time to fucking throw the ball.
Yep.
And, I mean, Goff's absolute worst game of the year, most likely. I mean, I would have to go back and watch the tape on the Ravens, which I'm not going to do. But, I mean, he looked like he was seeing ghosts today. But, to his credit, as always, when it mattered most, he didn't miss a throw, and he didn't make a big mistake.
Yep.
So you got to give him credit. I read some motivational quote the other day. It's like great athletes and champions know what their best is on every day, and every day is not going to be the best of your best. Right. And I just felt like Goff today, wasn't a great game. Didn't mope, didn't cry, didn't get down, didn't force it. Won the game. With 3 picks on his resume.
And we keep saying it, good teams win games, great teams find a way to win different kind of games. And we've said it now for 4, 5, 6 weeks now. It seems like the Lions are just winning different types of games. You lose the turnover battle 4-1 today. You lose time of possession 40-20 today. You get basically, until the last drive, you were getting beat on total yards. But you find a way to win. And it's just putting that whole SOL to rest. This is a totally different team. A totally different mantra. SOL is dead.
RIP.
It died in 2023. It was a good 60-year run, but there is no more SOL. It's BNL, and these brand new Lions know how to win no matter what type of game they're in.
Yeah, and I hope anybody at Ford Field or watching the game today didn't shut it off, because I know it got to the point where it seemed like
very
that
close.
could happen. But yeah. It was. I mean, it was dark. It was quiet. They were booing at Ford Field. But man, I got to tell you guys, Detroit, Michigan is a special place for football, because with the Bears in town, that was our first divisional tailgate.
Yes,
that was our first divisional tailgate.
Correct.
Wild this late in the year.
I know, it was surprising, and we saw more opposing fans.
It was awesome.
Than we've seen in any game this year, even including the Raiders, who generally travel well. We saw a ton of Bears fans, and I know Detroit is hockey town, and we love our Red Wings, but there's just something about not just the Lions, but the Lions being good that we've never seen. I mean, this has got to be the best sports city in the country.
I mean, it was just the streets were flooded, and today might have been one of the most beautiful days of fall. It was warm out. It had a nice, crisp air to it. A lot of Bears fans. Just a good old Midwestern, mid-November rivalry game. The Bears fans were fired up. They obviously came to play today. But, man, it does feel nice to talk shit to these opposing fans and actually have something to back it up with for once.
It sure does, and I'd like to talk shit to the Bears fans right now. Congratulations on your 12th straight loss against an NFC North opponent.
Oh, my God. When was the last time they beat us?
It's been at least 2 seasons because we won in Chicago last year. We took the last home game of last year against them.
The first time we played them last year started the new team. And it was like a 1-point fluke victory.
Correct.
And that started where we are now.
Yep.
That started the 6-2 close of the season and then 8-2 now, if that math's correct. But I think that's pretty close.
Yeah, I think it is too. So good win today. Hey, they're not all going to look pretty, but it all looks the same at the end of the day, and we are 8-2 again for the first time since 1962. And again, let's celebrate Detroit. How many years have we been told the Lions shouldn't be hosting a Thanksgiving game? They don't deserve the Thanksgiving game. They should switch it out because of the product that's on the field. Well, Detroit, celebrate. For those who have come before us, for those who go with their parents, take their kids, have made this an annual tradition, get ready for Thursday because this is the first time in nearly 3 decades that we have a chance to take the division at this time of year, and that probably the first time since the color TV came around that we are one of the best shows in town in the National Football League. So Detroit, take your bow and take it in this Thursday when you come downtown for Thanksgiving.
And it's going to be awesome to whack the Packers around on national television. It's going to be nice to say this could be Vikings are still playing hot, and obviously the Lions haven't looked great. I am getting a little ahead of myself, but if we ass whack Green Bay on Thursday in front of everyone, that could be the torch being passed.
I would agree 100%. And for all those years that we lost to Green Bay, for the 20-some odd years we lost in Green Bay, for the countless years we got beat by Favre and Rodgers, let's go on a national stage and just absolutely beat them into the ground
with the other teams eating our turkey legs and all of it. You know, this is ours now. I want to throw some stats out here from today's game. In the fourth quarter, I'm trying to look at the time, but basically the Chicago Bears win probability got up to 98.2%. 98.2% because the Lions were down 12 with 3 minutes left. So at the 3-minute mark, 98.2% the Bears were supposed to win that game.
Ain't over till it's over.
Yeah. And I was still nervous at the end, too, with 29 seconds left. I mean, we've seen our defense, and Fields is like, if anything, just a big play guy.
Yep.
And DJ Moore, I mean, it was 2 passes and they could have been in field goal range. And I'm glad it just ended right away and Hutch punting the ball into the stands. It's funny, like at the end of this game, like, you know, we probably outgained them. A lot of people's stats came together. Hutch is going to have that like safety and a sack, but like none of that was happening all game.
No, it wasn't. And kudos to the team for keeping their head down. You know, keeping on, and especially for Hutch, who was getting double-teamed. I know he got a holding or 2 against him. Kind of a frustrating game until that. For him to step up and make that big of a play that late, and then to punt the damn ball in the stands. Salute to you, Hutch.
In the middle of the game, CD Gardner-Johnson tweeted, after Goff's 3rd pick, he tweeted, "Weather the storm," which I thought was kind of tight.
Hey,
it's that mentality.
They weathered the storm. So, Frank, I know we talked about it before we get into the rest of the NFL, but looking ahead to next week, we're not going to be on because we're going to be down here for our tailgate Thursday morning. We come to every home tailgate. You guys know that by now. But no Wednesday night taping because we'll be here early Thursday morning.
And we got to get back, do some family stuff.
It's
family day.
That's right. So we're going to be down here. We're going to be down here early, maybe taking in the parade a little bit, maybe taking in the Lions game a little bit. But it should be an absolutely festive day with all eyes on Detroit this Thursday.
So have you done the Thanksgiving game?
1 time in my life. I did it about 8 or 10 years ago, we played the Vikings at home.
Okay.
We actually ended up winning that game, but one time only. But I didn't take in the tailgate or anything like that.
You just went to the game?
Came down, just went to the game, got out of there.
Yeah.
So I've never been down and tailgated or really took in the environment or atmosphere of a Thanksgiving game.
Some people have done it their whole lives, and
Yep.
it's like their routine. And I know, some people love it. I know most people love it, but I know it's a marathon of a day. Like if you come down, do that tailgate, watch the early Lions game, get back home, and then do Thanksgiving with Meemaw. It's a long day.
Pappy and Meemaw.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll be down here doing the tailgate, and then probably going to bolt back home to watch the game at our respective homes. But I am really looking forward to seeing what it's like down here because I've never done it at all. I've never even been in the city for a tailgate.
And I'm excited for
Thanksgiving
it.
tailgate.
I'm excited for it. And again, before we pivot, I do want to shout out one more thing. Shout out to the Champagne Army.
Yeah.
It was good today hearing from a lot of people who recognize Champagne and what we were doing. You saw a couple of your apparel items out in the wild.
Very cool.
Shout out to the Champagne Army. I feel like we're running into some of the same people at these tailgates, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then we're getting recognized, and we're actually getting to interact with some people who follow the account and listen to the podcast.
Yeah, it's the tailgates are so fun.
Yeah.
So if you guys are ever out there and you see us, we have a big camera rig. You can't really miss us. It's three of us bopping around with a mic. But yeah, it's awesome every week to see people with apparel. We're running into same people over and over. We saw our boys at the Harbor House.
Yep.
They were fucking electric. He sang Ed Sheeran for us again.
Yep. DJ Matco.
DJ Matco. We
Yep.
got to see his live, man. We got to find it. And he was spot on.
Said a win by 3.
Yes.
Lions by 3 is what he said.
Mikey, we're going to need that in the video. We got to find that clip. Yeah. So DJ Matco, if you guys haven't watched, he carries around a laptop, like just carries it around like this, and it's live the whole time. He had a sidekick today working.
Yeah, he
for him,
did.
but he ran into us, and he always lets us know that he's live and that he's smoking. Like
That's
he
right.
always has to let us know, like, I'm smoking.
Oh, he had a gutted backwood in his hands today too.
Yeah, yeah, he did. A lot of characters out at those tailgates, and yeah, we just appreciate everyone. People are giving us beers, they're giving us shots. I did the Eagle, whatever that was today. I always
Free Eagle or something like that.
Yeah. And whenever I have to chug, if Mike could probably put together a highlight reel. If I'm ever having to chug something on camera, it's always like I just choke on it. Like I don't have it anymore. I don't have the chug in me anymore. I always,
Tighten up.
Yeah, I that's like Lou, man. Lou could probably open that throat and just pound him, put him down.
Oh,
I think my favorite guy today, though, was I think Muncher cracked me up the hardest.
yeah.
Like he's full Cookie Monster, 69 Muncher. Goes to every game.
Yep.
That guy I thought took the cake for me today. The Reverend was pretty good. He talked for a little too long. He's got to tighten that thing. If you do that thing a minute, you're going to get everyone fired up.
That's why Mass is an hour, because his homily just goes way too long.
Crazy. And he just took the mic from me. We were held hostage. He took the mic and was on the tailgate there, and we couldn't leave. We had to listen to his whole sermon because he took our microphone.
We'll have to see if Lou's got some footage, but we got you. It looked like you had ants in your pants waiting to get that mic back. You were like rocking back and forth trying to give him subliminal signals.
Well, I know. That was early in the tailgate, so I popped the energy drink. We get down there, I'm buzzing around. It's a nice day. I was just kind of like, I was kind of just fired up. Couldn't really sit still. Restless leg syndrome.
And the last one that I want to talk about is the lady who bought the grill cover off of Sky Mall.
Yeah.
I've never
What was that story?
So she said she started her season tickets in 2001, last season at the Silverdome, and when she did, she was on a plane, a Delta plane, she mentioned.
Okay.
And she bought a Detroit Lions grill cover, which looked like a helmet, off of the Sky Mall magazine, the infamous Sky Mall magazine, in the back of the seats. On every seat. You remember how it was Sky Mall and it had like crazy popcorn machines or shit?
I'm looking at it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she got a grill cover and she actually bought it from Sky Mall.
Yeah.
She said she never bought anything else from Sky Mall. That was the only item.
And
I never met anyone who bought anything from Sky Mall.
No, me neither. And honestly, I had to look up what it was because I didn't remember. But I'm looking at all the wacky stuff now. But it was the grill cover was a big Lions helmet.
Yes.
Like a big vintage Lions helmet.
Yes.
And she fucking put it on. She put it on. It was like so old and nasty. It's a grill cover.
Crusted out.
Crusted out. And this woman's like, we didn't even ask her. Or did we ask her?
I
feel like that was very voluntary.
She said, do you want me to?
Did you?
Oh, okay.
You did ask her?
Producer Mike asked her.
I didn't know that. I thought she was just like, okay, go Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy what people are doing out there.
Hey, all for champagne.
Yeah.
All for the cam.
I thought we ran into the absolute grill master. I'm like, all right, where's the secret? Where are you getting all this nice meat? And he was like, Kroger. I was like, oh, I thought maybe. Okay.
All right.
Do you think that guy actually had bear chili? There's another guy out there who said he had bear chili. He said it was actual bear.
He said he did. I mean, Lou, I wish he was here, but Lou shot a bear one time. And
that's real? Lou wasn't lying to me?
No, Lou has a bear.
A 300-pound bear.
Yes.
That's an anorexic bear.
Yes. It most definitely is.
Skinny bear, vegan bear. Because that guy's like, 300. Mine's 550, bud. They were fucking measuring dicks out there.
If I can find the picture, I'm going to have to show it to you, and maybe I'll send it out to either you or producer Mike to put on our Instagram. But I have a picture of Lou Sr., Lou's dad, who got a bear one time.
I believe that.
And this bear sits in their den of their house. And this thing, sir, is absolutely massive. Look at what Lou Sr. caught.
Where is that?
Now that is...
Can you show the camera?
Yes, that is an absolutely massive bear. That is Lou Sr., who took down a bear in, I believe, Canada on a hunting trip.
Let me see that again.
And that thing is
That's a bear.
Probably 800 to 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, and 8 or 9 feet tall.
Yes.
I mean, and Lou's dad's not a small guy.
No.
And he looks like a dwarf there.
Yeah. So they are bear hunters.
Not to mention there's like a big moose kind of popping in the corner of the screen there. Dude, that reminds me of the bear at State, the polar bear.
Yeah.
You remember that monster polar bear? Did you ever have a class in that building?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Natural Sciences?
Natural Sciences,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to tell you, vibes were just like, I think the highest I've ever seen at Tailgate. I mean, the weather was just, chef's kiss today. Everyone was fired up. You know, I think obviously the game made everyone a little tight in the pants, but didn't matter. Dub's a dub. Beat Chicago 8-2. On to the Packers 4 days later, who are now 4-6 after upsetting the Chargers at home, which I'm pretty shocked happened.
Yeah, I can't believe that happened. I mean, it's about that time. I think we may have seen Chargers coach Brandon Staley coach his last game. I actually just got a stat from one of the guys that I work with. So thank you to Dylan for sending it over.
Okay.
Of the last 12 games that the Chargers have played, they have beaten one starting quarterback, Kirk Cousins. They are 4-8 in their last 12 games. Their victories include Kirk Cousins, Aiden O'Connell, Tyler Bagent, and Zach Wilson.
Wow.
Those are their only 4 victories in their last 12 games with a franchise quarterback and one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, Justin Herbert. That's completely unacceptable. And to lose at Green Bay today, Brandon Staley's days may be numbered at this point in time.
Yeah, and the rumors are Belichick likes California.
Yes.
Doesn't feel right to me at all to like picture Bill Belichick, like the cold Midwestern Boston guy, coaching the LA Chargers. It just doesn't feel right to me. I will tell you who would probably look pretty sexy over there is Ben Johnson, though.
Oh, I think he would have a field day with those offensive weapons.
Cold take here. I don't think Ben Johnson's going to go. I mean, this is way too early to have this conversation, but depending on our success this year, I mean, some people just know when they got it good. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe they give Campbell a raise and they make him the highest paid OC in the NFL.
Could be.
And we re-sign Goff. You know, you keep the band together and everything's good. But obviously everyone's coaching dream in life is to be the head coach of an NFL. There's only, 30 of them, whatever it is, 32. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just pipe dreaming, but
hey,
just a thought.
You never know. You never know.
I would just want him to hear it. Let him know we want him to stay.
We want him to stay. So, hey, Ben, you can stay as long as you want. But huge loss for the Chargers. That really crushes their season. Other than that, though, Frank, I mean, we were talking about it and prepping for this kind of status quo. The only other underdog to actually outright win in the early 1 o'clock games was the Giants. They beat the Commanders.
DeVito, baby.
Tommy D cooking up the cutlets.
Dude, build the statue. Build the fucking statue. If there's ever a guy that I wanted to be the New York Giants quarterback, like moving forward, it would be DeVito. What is his first name?
Tommy
DeVito. That's great.
Tommy DeVito.
Living at home with his parents.
Yep.
Mom's baking him fucking ziti before every game.
He's
a Jersey guy.
It's a fairy tale story.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So that was the only other outright win. But other than that, Dallas just beat up on the Panthers. Everyone saw that one coming.
Yep.
Miami slid by the Raiders.
That was interesting. Boring game, but like they grinded it out.
Yep.
They win. I think the Browns win 13-10. Like that could have been AI generated. Like I feel like that is like exactly what we thought would happen, right? I mean, just a boring AFC East sludge match, and the Browns win by 3 points at home in a 13-10 game. 259
yards to 249 yards. Like everyone saw that one coming.
Yes.
And the Browns come out on top. Browns 7-3 this year, which is wild to say.
Yeah, that is.
I
did I say NFC? Did I say the wrong division there?
I don't
remember.
I don't think you did.
North. Yeah,
but
okay.
I know I had predicted Browns to make the playoffs. I think someone else here predicted the Browns to make the playoffs too. But to see how much Deshaun Watson has been out, Nick Chubb going out early in the season, for them to just basically patch in quarterbacks. Today it was Dorian Thomas-Robinson. They've had Walker.
Why didn't Walker play?
I have no idea why.
I guess it just doesn't matter. It's just all about their defense.
It's their defense. So for them to be 7-3 this late into the year without their starting quarterback and starting running back, testament to them. And the Steelers, if they had any quarterback, they'd probably be 8-2 at this point in time.
They're the weirdest. They're a really strange team.
Yep.
And then I think there was one more game we didn't talk about.
Houston, Arizona.
And Jags Titans.
Yep.
Which I'll be honest, like even though we had red zone going for most of the day, like I was hooked on the Lions game. I didn't really watch many of these games, and like you said, none of them were that exhilarating. But I mean, Titans are just such a
terrible
boring team. Yeah. The Jags seem like they, like I kind of want to just check out the Jags really quick. I want to know if we're on fraud watch or not, So they seem to beat the teams they should and then lose to the teams that like would be a stretch.
Yep.
So they beat the Colts to start the year, should have won that game, lose to the Chiefs, upset by the Texans. They beat the Falcons. So their biggest win is the Bills, but even though we've learned the Bills are fraudy this year. Yep. They're not the Bills that we knew in the past. So that's kind of their marquee.
And that's a game in London too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and they were there the week before.
Yes, exactly.
Then they beat the Colts again. They beat the Saints, who aren't good. Steelers aren't great.
Yep.
Blown out by the Niners, and then today beat the Titans. So they're like, I don't know if I believe in the Jags too much, but they're about to run through the gauntlet. So they go Texans, Bengals, Browns, Ravens.
That's a tough stretch here for the Jags.
That's wild that they play 3 teams in the same division that's not in their division.
Back to back.
Yeah. Wild.
It'll be a tough test, but with no Burrow, with Deshaun Watson being out, a couple of those games are going to be a little easier than previously thought. They need to get their ticketing and security situation figured out before anything.
Oh, yeah, the Jags. Right. Oh, my God, Lou down in Jacksonville. I was like, what did I miss?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that is too good.
Oh, man. So that's the NFL this week. We got a couple late games on right now. Seahawks currently beating the Rams early in that. Buffalo beating the Jets. We know what's going to happen there. Niners beating the Bucks. You can assume the Niners are going to win there. So kind of an odd week in the NFL because this next week coming up, so weird. Like next Sunday isn't going to be as many games as usual. We're going to have bye weeks. We're going to have Thanksgiving games. You still have your Monday night game next week. So it'll be an even odder week next week. But switching gears here, did you hear the news about the casinos?
Well, I did because of you.
Yes.
So walk me through it.
Back open, or at least tentative agreement. So I don't know how labor negotiations work between
Okay.
unions and the companies.
Yeah, I'm not-
If you could enlighten me,
No, I got
please let
nothing.
me know.
No, it's not really my thing.
But I did read as of Friday that it sounded like the dealer union or whatever union that is,
Yeah.
the gaming union.
Okay.
They reached a tentative agreement. So for all you sickos who are looking to scratch that itch either Thursday night after you got some family time, maybe Black Friday, you tell the wife you're going out and getting some deals
Yeah.
and getting dealt some cards
Yeah.
instead.
Going to
Hey,
work.
head on downtown because the casinos seem to be heading back open in the right direction.
We're back, baby.
We are back.
We're back. So I got this video here. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm just kind of scrolling Twitter at the end of the game, and it sounds like we got C.J. Gardner-Johnson like reacted live to the final play of like Hutch getting a sack. I just kind of want to see if we get any good soundbite here.
Let's hear what he says.
Yeah.
Hutchinson said, that ball is out. Darnell Wright kicks it in back of the end zone.
Oh.
2 points for Detroit.
Bitch ass nigga. Fuck out of here. You was dancing, now your ass folded. Get your ass out of here, boy. Bitch ass boy.
All we do is fucking win.
If I be talking to bitch.
You know the Lions won.
Okay, insane. That was. I told you I didn't listen to it before, but he started playing the Lions Won Again song. That is a fucking jam. We heard that at Tailgate a little bit too. People were playing that.
Good seeing CD too because, he only played, 2 games for us. Hasn't been here longer than that. But for him to still be so invested, backing his team. I know you posted the video, what was it, a week ago or so of him back in the lab
Yep.
working out.
He's working out. He wants to get back.
Yeah, it's good to see him getting back, staying invested in this team. And by all accounts, I think the target is the playoffs for him to still come back.
Oh yeah, I think he's going to do everything he can. I am just again scrolling Twitter to pull content for this right now, but like Bears media headline from WindyCityGridiron.com: Bears dominate most of the game, but cowardly coaching decisions predictably hand the win to the Lions at the end. Are the days when the Bears fans can take comfort in at least being able to dominate one pathetic team at an end. They are down bad. They are down very bad.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
We've been there, Bears fans.
Oh, for a long time. I actually wanted to look up kind of what I'm not going to do this now, but like what the Bears stats have been like since we were born, like so like from 1990 until today, because I always have felt like the Bears were viewed as a better team because they're right next to us all the
Right.
time. I mean, they have been better. There's no doubt about that. They obviously went to a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman, and they do have their one Super Bowl, so they have us beat there for sure. But I wonder how far apart it is.
Not very far
You know what I
apart.
mean? Like they've always just been like what is it in like Hall Pass where it's just like he's doing this with the girls.
Yeah.
And he's just like, look, it's all a bunch of uglier girls, so she looks more
Yeah,
attractive. Like
yeah.
that's kind of where I think the Bears have been, and now it's just like, yeah, they're just a bad organization.
They're terrible.
They're bad.
I mean, the thing about the Bears that we've had that they haven't had a quarterback since Jim McMahon back in the 80s. They literally have not had a starting quarterback in nearly 40 years.
Dude, their all-time leading receiver is a guy named Johnny Morris, who played from 1958 to 1967.
Come on.
That's their number one all-time leading receiver. Number 2 is Harlan Hill, who you might remember from those historic 1954 to 1961 teams. And then number 3, Alshon Jeffrey.
There we go.
But isn't that kind of like he was there like a couple of years?
Like they barely did the forward pass back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Dude, number 4 is Walter Payton. Like that's how like much they refuse to address their offense like ever.
Oh man, that is incredible.
I know, really
Incredibly wild.
What a day. What an awesome win. And then we go into our as our third Pride Time game. We open the season on Thursday. We had the Monday night. Now we have this
4th.
one. What one am I missing?
Green Bay week 4. Thursday night, we played at Green Bay.
Yeah. That's right. So this is number
Chiefs,
4.
Green Bay, Raiders, Green Bay.
And then we might get a flex at the end of the season if that Minnesota game means anything.
Minnesota, Dallas.
Yeah.
It sounds like it could be a flex option.
Either one of them. Minnesota. We have 2 Minnesotas at the end of the year.
It's definitely opportunities for some flex options at the end of the game. But, before we break here, I know we said we're going to be down here. I foreshadowed the weather forecast because we're a weather podcast here.
We are.
And would you look at that? The only day in the 50s for the next 2 weeks, Thursday, November 23rd, 50 degrees, mostly sunny, 2% chance of rain.
Praise
Happy Thanksgiving.
Praise be. Praise be. I'm thankful. Hey, well, that's awesome. I'm thankful for everyone who follows the show and everything here. But guess what I'm also thankful for? I'm thankful for Jerry, who actually just in the last 5 minutes sent us an over-under.
Let's go, Jerry.
So Jerry,
way to be on it.
Jerry comes in clutch. I forgot to tell him we were recording today. We don't communicate well at this company. But he did send me a list. I appreciate you, Jerry. I know you're hanging out with your boy, so appreciate you getting this done. He wrote, LGRW, the Wings stink. And I think a lot of people are angry at the Red Wings right now. I'm not even going to talk about the Euro trip. Save my breath on that. Number 1, Channy football. Friendsgiving, over underrated.
Friendsgiving. So this is a little sensitive for me this year because this is the first time in maybe 4 or 5 years this year that we have not done a Friendsgiving. I'm a big Friendsgiving guy. I like to get everyone back together. That is what the holidays are about, being around family and friends, breaking bread, drinking, and reminiscing and making new memories. With that being said, Friendsgiving is underrated.
Without a doubt. Friendsgiving's better than Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Like, that's not even a hot take. Friendsgiving's better than Thanksgiving. Get all the boys back in town, all the friends and family. It's great stuff. Friendsgiving underrated. Number 2, this is on me. Putting up your own Christmas lights. Putting up your own Christmas lights is completely overrated. You should call, what's his company's name?
The Lighting Authority.
Thank you. You should call the Lighting Authority, Luigi Pizzo. He'll help you out. He'll put up all your lights. Putting up your own lights stinks. It's dangerous. You don't want to do it. You have better things to do. Why don't you have Lou come by, put up your lights? That's what you should be doing. Lighting Authority, the Lighting Authority is underrated. Putting up your own lights, overrated.
Yeah, and it's either Lighting Authority or Holiday Lighting Authority. Either way, if you need information on putting on your lights, DM us on our account. We'll get you connected because just like Frank said, I agree, putting up your own lights is overrated. Know why? Because a lot of times it doesn't come out looking good. Hire the professionals, hire Lou and his crew at the Holiday Lighting Authority.
And he's grinding. I mean, he's like doing some glue stuff. He like burned his face with a glue gun. We learned this week. He has like a little cut on his face. I was like, what happened there? He's like, I burned my face with a glue gun. And he kind of just paused. I was like, well, I mean, I need more than that. Like, what were you doing? And he's like, well, there's sometimes when you put the lights up and I got too close to my face. And then, I don't know, then we started tailgating again. But yeah, so call Lou, and I'm going to have to invoice him for that plug. All right, number 3 on the list, Channy football, eggnog.
Eggnog. I don't like eggnog. I think I've tried it once in my life, maybe twice. Not my cup of tea. Eggnog, overrated.
Eggnog is overrated. I do this dumb cycle probably every 3 years. I'm like, oh, eggnog. It's the holidays. Let's get it. I get eggnog. I pour myself 1 glass. I take 3 sips. I hate it. The eggnog sits in there till January. It expires, and then I don't buy it for 3 years, and I do that whole forget thing, and I buy it again. Eggnog's overrated.
Yes.
I don't even know what it is.
It's like cream, isn't it? Or milk or...
I don't know. Is there eggs in it? Is it made with eggs?
I don't think so.
What about nog? Number 4, Christmas music. Christmas music. Is this on me?
Yes, it is.
How do you mess it up with 2 people? Christmas music. You know what? Christmas music is underrated. It serves its purpose. It is supposed to bring joy and all that. It's only when you overdo Christmas music. If you're starting it around Halloween, and I'm a big proponent of just like get through Thanksgiving and then you can go Christmas all out. I don't get like too mad at people who start too early, but I like to give Thanksgiving its time. You know, after Thanksgiving Friday, I'll put up the lights, I'll get the Christmas tree, all that stuff, but not until after Thanksgiving. And that's when you can start the Christmas music. And I love Christmas music, so I'm going to say underrated.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one, Frank. Underrated for Christmas music. The place and time, though, like you said, don't start it too early. And you got to do it while you're putting up decorations, while you're having the family over, when it starts snowing out. A little Christmas music just gets you in the mood. And I will say top 2 Christmas music artists, number 1 and number 2 in no particular order, Michael Bublé, Mariah Carey.
Yeah, I think that's a very respected list. I was actually going to ask you if you had a favorite Christmas song, because I know mine. Mine is, without a doubt, What Christmas Means to Me by the GOAT, Stevie Wonder. That song, when I hear those bells start jingling a dinging, I'm ready to fucking go. I'm ready for Santa. I
Yeah.
want the cookies, the milk, all of it.
I
I'll
will
buy the
tell you,
eggnog.
Santa Tell Me's a new good one by Ariana Grande. That's kind of a good new
yeah.
school one.
Yeah.
I like Santa Tell Me. And anything like The Silent Night by Michael Bublé, it's just a classic. Plug, though, my wife just told me yesterday she was going to this. Mariah Carey, December 1st at Little Caesars doing a Christmas concert.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So if you love Christmas music, go see her on Friday the 1st here in Detroit.
There you go. I mean, the amount of I saw some stat, and we should find it, but how much she makes each year on like
I can
royalties?
only imagine.
What? Let's see it. What does Mariah Carey make each year on Christmas? On All I Want.
What's your guess if you had to guess?
So I wish I'd read it before you asked me.
I just seen it too.
Okay, so a report from the New York Post, is that what you're reading? Estimated that she makes around $3 million every year from the song. In 2021, it was claimed that Carey had ranked in more than $60 million from All I Want for Christmas Is You, and she continues to profit from the track. She also enjoys a number of sponsorship ties thanks to the song.
That's what I saw.
What?
60 million
What a song!
since 94.
What a song!
One song.
We got to come out with something, man. We got to come out with a fucking
That pirate song might get there one day.
Yeah, maybe we could put like a Christmas twang to it and get it going. We got to clean that song up too, by the way. Okay, that was good. And then I think we got our last one here.
Yep.
I have no idea who's up. It could be anybody. Okay,
Right here, hand
Channy,
up.
number 5. Come on, Jerry. Giving homeless guys money.
Jerry, come on, man. What about, is this a win-win or a lose-lose?
Overrated. Get a job.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. I am going to say this, though. Overrated.
Okay.
There are many different means. There are many different organizations. There are many different places around the city, the state that you can help people who are in need. I'm not a fan of just giving people on the street money because I don't know where that's going and what it's being used for.
Yeah, that's fair.
So with that being said, I'm going to say giving homeless people money is overrated. Helping out those who are in need is underrated.
Very well put. That's very well put. And a lot of times, if there's homeless people out there and they're trying to like play an instrument or they're doing something like that, I try to give $1 here or there when I can. If they're just like kind of barking at me on the street. The other day I walked out of HQ and I had to go to 7-Eleven and dude, this guy just barked at me. He was like, "Cigarette?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Cigarette." And I was like, "I don't." And he's like, "Do you have a cigarette?" I'm like, "No, I don't have a cigarette." He's like, "All right, brother, have a blessed day." Like he like calmed down. It was a very strange interaction. Like it scared the shit out of me too, him barking cigarette at me. But I'm gonna agree with you, Chandler. Actually, I think it is overrated. If you can give them food, that's great. But handing them money straight up is not really something I do. But yeah, you can help people in need. Just like you said, I think you said it perfectly. So I'll say overrated, but helping people out is not overrated. And 'tis the season.
That's right.
'Tis the season.
It's the season of giving.
It is. And the Lions are giving us playoff vibes after another victory, 8-2. Great tailgate day, beautiful day in the city. Blessed to be in Detroit and a part of this community and culture.
The greatest city on earth.
Absolutely. So for me and Channy here at Champaign HQ, we'll sign off for episode 128. We thank you for listening. As always, share with a friend, tell them about it, share the videos, comments, likes, all that stuff always helps us. And enjoy your Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week.
See you Thursday, Detroit. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
See ya!